Everybody, welcome back for another episode of the Till Corner Podcast. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel, really helps the engagement. We love the interaction on
Mhm.
Twitter. Please keep it going. Love you guys. Kat, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been nice. We won on Thursday, so it's been a long stretch of just victory,
Yeah,
which is
no,
always good.
seriously.
I like that. Four straight in a row. Four in a row.
I'm loving it. Like
Yeah.
after the game, I got so pumped up. I'm like, you know what? Stop what we're doing. Let's make plans going to Pittsburgh. So I'm headed there this weekend, and I'll be at the game in section
Yeah.
118, I believe, ready to
Have
chill the
fun.
Jags on. Yeah, I know. It's one of those places like you don't really think of going to Pittsburgh, but supposedly it's like a really cool city with open container rules and all kind of stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm ready for the game now.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, and then I guess let's go ahead and do a look back. I have some interesting thoughts on the Steelers, but how did you feel about that prime time Thursday night Saints game?
So I liked that game a lot. It seemed like we were kind of gonna run away with it
Yeah.
at first, and I was like, this is great. But then that didn't happen. So the offense just kind of like totally sputtered in the second half, and the defense was just on the field way too long. And it resulted in the Saints being able to make some plays and get some points. So that shit's gonna happen. But the offense, Trevor Lawrence took the offense down and scored when they needed to and won the game. So, at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. We got a win, and wins are hard to come by in the NFL. So I'm not really going to complain too much. The If we can go into Pittsburgh and beat them, we'll be 6-2, which would be the exact opposite of last year. Last year we were 2-6 going into the bye. So that would just be like a complete turnaround. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, honestly, if we even go into the bye 5-3, prefer 6-2. Um, it's still just like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, I was happy with the game for the most part. Didn't love that we let them catch back up the way that we did, but like I said,
Mhm.
I really don't love complaining when the team wins. So they did
Yeah.
what they needed to do.
Yeah, and yeah, I said the same thing on Twitter. Like a win is a win. I don't care how ugly it was. You just got to claw these out. Those guys are professionals. They get paid the same way we do.
Yeah,
They have passionate fan base just like we have. It was a home game for them. They were loud, short week, London trip involved. Like it's been a lot of travel for the Jaguars over the last couple of weeks. So for them to be
yeah, we
able to
haven't
pull
had
four of
any
those
jet lag
off,
between us though. So
yeah, yeah,
just saying.
yeah. The jet lag only affects the Bills, I heard, but that's something different. But yeah, about the actual game, first quarter was amazing. Like we came out hot. That was the fast start we've been looking for all last season. Like we've
Yeah,
been begging for fast starts. Even this year was an emphasis. Like that's all you heard was Trevor, Doug. How you guys gonna get fast starts? How you guys gonna get? And then the defense is like, okay, let's get off the fast starts. And the offense is like, okay, let's score some points. But now it's just like the the offense keeps sputtering every game. Like coming
yeah,
out of halftime, it's just slow. Like we struggle to come out of halftime. We struggle to readjust. And I think some of that is honestly play calling. They like rhythm and cadence and sync has a lot to do with the play calling. So I think we need to run more screens. We hardly ever run screens. Like if they're trying to tee off on Trevor with these blitzes and pass rushes, run some freaking screens. These like
yeah.
reverse plays, the Agnew that they did last week was a little weird. Try to do some more trick plays and stuff too against the Saints. It's okay, but just run the ball. 4th and inches. I get Trevor was hurt, so they tried to do the ETN thing. We have more negative run plays than a little bit. Like our run plays are our run game has too many negatives. Like
Yeah.
guys just blow up our O line. I'm not sure why. Sheriff is playing pretty decent. Shatley's been pretty decent, and Luke Fortner is getting a little bit better. But for some reason, guys just are able to easily split through on our run play. So I don't know,
Yeah,
but
that's true. But they also didn't let Trevor get touched all night. So
That is also true. Yes, pass blocking. This was the best Jaguars pass blocking performance of the entire season by far.
which this was a good one to have. I was like, I even like
Yeah,
said something before the game. I was like, if y'all let anyone touch Trevor tonight, I swear to God, like, I
yeah, no,
swear to
seriously.
God. And they did their job. He was not on the ground once. It was beautiful.
Yeah, no, they
More of
did.
that, please. More of that.
Yeah, I was surprised by Anton's performance against Cam Jordan. I know Cam Jordan isn't, a world beater anymore at this age, but he's still pretty effective. He's still pretty good. He had a high pass rush win rate too. If you go back and look, I think it was top 5 across the NFL last week, but it didn't result in too many pressures, and it didn't result in any QB hits, any sacks. So I'll take that from a rookie right tackle
Yeah,
any day of the week. So proud of
absolutely.
the guys. Yeah, it was a good job by the O line. Travis Etienne, 2 touchdowns early in the first half.
Yep.
Whatever they feeding Travis Etienne, like when we get closer to the red zone, it's like a snap. Just like he turns it on every time, and
Yeah.
if he keeps doing that, like our offense looks so much better in the red zone because we're scoring with Travis Etienne on freaking run plays. That
Yeah.
makes it easy. So I love it.
No, he's great. And I mentioned this to you earlier, but he's now the first Jaguars player like in history to ever have
Mm-hmm.
3 straight games with a rushing touchdown, which is honestly surprising considering our running back history because we've
Yeah,
had really good running backs. So
yeah. Yeah, 3 consecutive games with 2 or more. Yeah, that's pretty. And I honestly don't know if it slows down, to be honest, the way this offense is designed. It may keep rolling.
oh
Like,
yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
not be surprised if he kept doing this. Zay
Same.
Jones is back. Well,
God.
let me pump the brakes. Zay Jones may be back this week. Walker Little may be back this week. Devon Hamilton may be back this week. So the Jaguars are 5-2 and getting healthy. That's scary.
I love
And we
it.
have a bye next week. So,
I love
like,
it. The offense is missing Zay Jones so badly.
yeah,
So
I
bad.
agree.
We need him back really bad.
Yeah,
Obviously,
like,
Christian Kirk was great on Thursday, and they didn't really target Agnew too not Agnew, sorry, Ridley too much. But the one catch, I think that was a catch. The
yeah,
one like long bomb that Ridley had, I that was a catch, and I was kind
yeah,
of
it
annoyed
was.
that we didn't challenge it.
Yeah, no, it was a catch. I think we ended up getting the first down off the Agnew defensive pass interference, which they were trying to say was over his head and uncatchable, but we got the call.
Yeah,
Not used to that. Like, honestly, on plays where it's 50-50, I'm not used to the Jaguars getting that call, but hey, I'll
same
take it. Like,
for
I was like,
real.
oh, are they? Oh, they gave it to him. Okay,
Yeah,
like I'll take it.
yeah,
Yeah, they targeted Agnew a lot. I think at one point he was leading the team in targets that game. He had like 7 before Ridley had any. It was
yeah.
just a weird design. And I'm like, okay, like throw Ridley some screens, like do something, like get him involved. You have to get the ball in his hands, but they came to it a little later with the screens and reverses. But Ridley is not a good runner. Like,
No,
he's not one of those guys you run behind the line of scrimmage laterally and give him a toss or a pitch or something. He's not that kind of guy. He's a straight line route runner type of deal. So yeah, we haven't seen not one big play from Ridley on that, like reverse jet sweep, any of that
oh
stuff. Like,
no,
it's not working.
yeah.
As
Well, one
dynamic as he is.
yeah, oh yeah, he's great. I think that he will be really, really great for the team a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been great with like the deep passes and everything, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing that really came out of the Saints game that is more important than the offense was the defense's
Yeah.
performance, in my opinion. They like freaking killed it for the most part.
No, they did. And I mean, they were on the field for 80 something plays. So, of course,
So
by nature,
much.
they're going to get gas. Yeah, they're going to get
Like
gas.
they're
But
gonna get, yeah, exactly, like they're that was the problem, was it was just like you can't even get upset with the defense because the offense would go out and do nothing.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, help the defense out a little bit please, because they're playing their asses off. Foy got a pick six.
what
I
a
love him.
play.
I'm
What
so
a
glad he's on
play.
our team.
Yeah.
I would hate to have to play against him. That
Yeah,
would suck.
he's a machine. Like Foye Oluokun is crazy. Like, and Devin Lloyd too. I mean, my goodness gracious. Like
Oh yeah, he had a great game.
guys,
Both just insane.
yeah, they were breaking up passes from freaking Chris Olave. Like
Hmm.
linebackers, Chris Olave, one of the top wide receiver one candidates in the NFL. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
But yeah, I was shocked, honestly. And then yeah, they did a good job overall. The secondary played pretty good. Darius Williams played pretty good. He had a nice pass breakup going down the right sideline.
Yes.
And then Rayshawn Jenkins played okay. I didn't really notice him too much. He almost had a really bad play at the end of the game on the last drive where Foster dropped the touchdown to tie the
Oh
game.
yeah.
Rayshawn like just lost himself in what he was supposed to be doing. So
Yeah.
I'm glad he dropped that. But Cisco went down with cramps, but Cisco was playing pretty good in this one too. You see they couldn't really throw the deep ball when Cisco was out there.
Yeah.
But as soon as Cisco left, they're like, oh, well, Dewey's in. Let's throw the deep ball.
Yeah.
But how you feel about Buster Brown or Monteric Brown, his surname? How you feel about Monteric Brown in this performance?
I thought he did great for a rookie performance. Obviously, he gave up the Michael Thomas touchdown, but that was, I mean, that's just one of those passes that it was put in the perfect spot. It was thrown perfectly. You're going up against one of the best wide receivers. It was most likely going to be a touchdown on anyone. Like, and so that I really don't blame him at all. But he had a couple. He had one pass breakup on Thomas, I believe, in
Yeah.
zone earlier in the game, and then obviously
Mm-hmm.
he had the game winning. I mean, he literally won the game
Yeah.
for the team. So, I mean, really can't ask for much better from a rookie at the moment.
Yeah. 4th and goal, game on the line, like to be there, use your technique, trust yourself, go up against Chris Olave and get a pat. That should have been an interception. He literally had it in
I
both
know.
hands. Like literally
He
in
knew it
both
too.
hands. Yeah, he knew it, but he was mad. But I'm like, bro, the game's over. You won it.
Yeah.
Like we just get to take knees now. But for him, I can see why he wanted that.
Yeah.
First career start. Second year, he was a little. He got in there last year. Didn't do too hot when they did the whole Shaq Griffin injury stuff. So they kind of like put him and Greg Jr. were kind of like rotating a little bit, practice squad, up and down
Yeah.
type of deal. But I think Greg Jr. is coming back too off of IR, which is also interesting. Both of those two guys, like late round picks from last year, are really developing, like bottom of the NFL draft guys. They're looking pretty decent.
Yeah.
D line, Josh Allen.
I love Josh Allen.
Once again, like bro,
He's killing
10
it.
plus 10 plus pressures again. Some sites say he had 10, some sites say he had 11. Bro, he's
Yeah,
literally killing it.
he is.
And then Smoot with a strip sack. Hey. And Josh Allen was literally one hair away from making that sack.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
but hey, shout out to Smoot though. Like Smoot was right there to clean it up. So love Smoot gang, man. It's so good to have Smoot back. Like
It is. I love him.
somebody else on the D line besides Josh Allen to make a play. I know we paid Roy. Roy's been stout against the run, but he hasn't been too effective as a pass rusher. They made him the second defensive captain this year. I said before the season started, they probably should have left that to Josh Allen, but hey, it is what it is.
No, it should be Josh Allen.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be. It's ridiculous that it's not. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, and the team voted on it. Doug leaves it to the players, so I'm
Yeah,
just a
no.
little surprised by that. I know we talked about that in our first episode of this season.
Don't agree
but
with the players.
yeah, I
I feel
know.
like
Yeah, but Roy stepped up big though. He is a vocal leader. You see
Yeah.
him breaking down the huddles, talking to the guys, getting them ready to play. He's been really good in the run game. Hopefully, Devon Hamilton back can boost him up a little bit in the pass rush game. I mean, we didn't pay Roy a crazy big contract, but I like to see him, get in there like he was last year. He was unguardable, like playoffs, end of the season run. He was unblockable.
Yeah.
Like, where's that Roy Robinson Harris? Can we have him back, please? But
For real.
and Foley Fatukasi, he's been mid.
Yeah.
Like that was a big free agent signing. Urban Meyer said that was their number one priority in the offseason. Like he was the guy that you had to have. Very mid.
Yeah.
Disappointing, but I don't think he'll be back next year unless they rework his numbers. I know he added on the void years with the whole salary cap stuff this offseason with getting the numbers down. Why did we make all that cap room? Do you know? We still sitting on like $20+ million.
I don't know.
We restructured like half of our freaking starters on offense and like a couple of defensive players and re-signed guys and
Yeah.
made 20 million in space. And we're just like, oh yeah, just leave that in the bank.
I would like it if they went after a pass rusher. I would appreciate that. I think that Josh Allen should get some help.
So yeah, listening to a lot of other people talk about it, it's a tough spot. Like, what message does that send to Trayvon? How does that impact Trayvon's development? And then, but does it just outweigh the production that we need right now if we're going to make a Super Bowl run? If we're
Yeah.
truly one of the best teams in the NFL and AFC, like Trayvon Walker, you got to figure it out, buddy. Like you'll still get reps, you'll still get snaps, but we're trying to win a ring here. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Like I kind of want Trayvon to figure it out, but it doesn't look like it's happening. And I don't want to be in the freaking AFC Championship game with no help for Josh Allen on the other side. That will piss me off. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Trayvon had an okay game against the Saints. It wasn't like he was non-existent.
No, yeah, he had some pressures in there. I think they credit him with 4 again. He was going up against a third string right tackle that just got moved up from the practice squad a couple days ago. So I was kind of hoping he would have like his breakout game.
Yeah.
But it's like every week we just keep waiting on it to happen. Like, all right, we got another backup right tackle. Like Trayvon's about to break out, and it just never happens. So rooting for him though. It's coming, I hope. Yeah.
I want him to get better.
Yeah.
I really do. I want him to have that breakout game and be the player that we all think he can be.
Yeah, no, I agree. And he's been rushing a lot from the wide 9 technique. He looks better. He looks better rushing from the wide 9. He just looks better. He can use more of his power. Still need to work on that being come around the edge, but he's definitely getting some late pressures in there and some pressure overall. Carr was getting the ball out pretty fast though. Like Carr in the first half looked horrible because our defense was playing so well.
Yeah.
And
well,
then
Derek Carr is just like, check down king.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he's gonna do. That's what he does.
He's a check down merchant. Alvin Kamara, though, man, like he's a hard tackle.
Oh yeah. He's great. He's on my fantasy team.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's like got me 30 points. It was great. But yeah, I'm glad he lost.
That's yes. Yeah, now he's one of those guys, man, that like he's just a gamer.
Oh yeah, like, absolutely.
He'll have slow weeks, where you kind of slow him. We slowed him down in the run game for a while. Like he had almost nothing in the run game, but here they go with the check downs, and he's like, whoop, so slippery. So
oh yeah. That's where he kills you.
Yeah. Darius Williams had another solid game. Oh man, that defense is statistically, I know they're not top 5, but watching them actually play, factoring in the whole factoring in like all the garbage time stuff, like with the Colts where they had a bunch of yards at the end of the game, it was kind of out of reach. Both Colts games actually. Where they put Minshew in because he got hurt at the end and all that stuff in the first one. Like they just give up a lot of garbage time yards, but actual like when you need it, that defense has been pretty solid. Like even Kansas City in the first half, Kansas City couldn't do anything in the first half on that defense. Like if we didn't go for that freaking 4th down in the middle of the field, they probably wouldn't have scored a touchdown in the first half. And then the same thing with the Bills.
Oh, screw the Bills.
Yeah, like we had Josh Allen looking horrible in the first half. Like, I don't know. That defense is top 5, if you ask me. I know statistically they're not. They're fourth against the run though, which is top 5. But
Yeah.
I think the pass defense is a lot better than the numbers show just because of the garbage time. Like we've been in some close games, but it's kind of been a little like teams trying to catch up late.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, and the people who think that the pass defense isn't good are people who have never actually bothered to sit down and watch a game.
Chris Broussard, yeah, still
I
speaking
don't
on.
take anything that man says seriously in regards to football. He has literally no idea what he's talking about. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
he literally doesn't know what he's talking about.
yeah, I was listening. I went back and watched like the 20-minute breakdown of just the Jags conversation because I can't watch that entire show with him. But yeah, he was literally going off about like where we are analytically as a defense, how we're not that good, and this and that. I'm like, bro, you're literally looking at a bunch of garbage time stats in a box score.
Yeah, stat watcher.
Like if you actually watch the games, you would know our defense is looking pretty good. But he refuses to watch the game, so whatever. And then what you think about the Thursday night broadcast? It was like the pregame show. It
Oh,
was
so
some comments there.
I never watched them in the beginning because for as like mediocre of a quarterback as Ryan Fitzpatrick was, he really has like a lot of the audacity to just like sit there and be like, this quarterback is like the 17th. He said that Trevor Lawrence was like the 17th quarterback in the NFL. And he was like, come on, you don't even believe that. Like, come on. It's like I feel like they just say stuff to like get engagements and like piss people off intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it feels that way. And I was kind of I know that like he he's a better person than I am, and he's also very well media trained. But like
Mm-hmm.
so much of me just wanted Trevor Lawrence to like refuse to talk to them after that game because of how much shit Ryan Fitzpatrick and Richard Sherman were talking about him before
But
that.
did you see how the energy changed though once he came out?
Oh yeah, they were kissing his fucking ass.
It's like, oh, Trevor, what's up, man? You freaking awesome, bro. Like, Trevor.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I'm literally, and
Like,
it's
y'all were
so
talking
weird
so much
too.
shit about this kid before the game.
Yeah, yeah. And
And I
then
mean,
Richard
like,
Sherman.
obviously he heard it.
And Richard Sherman continued that on Twitter as well. I don't know if you saw that. Like
Oh, yeah.
it was it Friday after the game where people were like at Richard Sherman going off about him, his comments against Trevor and how he was very mid. But he opened the sentence like before he started talking, he said, I haven't watched his team.
Yeah. And that's
But then
why
you
I
went
can't take you seriously.
like, how do you say you don't watch this team, but then you turn around and give criticism?
Exactly.
You're giving criticism on something you don't even know the full context on. You're just looking at the box score like, oh, he hasn't thrown for a bunch of yards yet. Oh, he hasn't thrown for a bunch of touchdowns yet. Like he
Yeah,
must be
like
struggling.
maybe there's a reason for that.
Yeah, the defense
Sure.
has been getting a lot of turnovers. We've had a lot of short fields. So yeah, that's causing a little bit of lacking production and yardage. Like
Well, yeah, and Travis Etienne's been going off all season.
and ETN
So,
scoring the touchdowns.
like, sorry. Sorry that one of our other players scores touchdowns a lot. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like we're working with short fields, and then Travis Etienne is just taking the ball all the way for a touchdown. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's no stat for Trevor for handing the ball off. But I mean, the offense is playing well and we're winning football games. That's what
Yeah.
matters. Like these guys are so caught up on stats these days, and people are like, oh yeah, all that hype about Trevor, he's not in the MVP race anymore. Okay, yeah, take him out of the MVP race. He's winning ball games. He's 5-2. Like if we win 12, 13 games, who cares if he's in the MVP race? Who cares?
Yeah. And my thing is too, like, when was the last time? Okay, the problem that I have with all the like Trevor Lawrence hate is he reminds me of like Lamar Jackson, where like
Mm-hmm.
people just hate him for no reason. Like there's not really any reason to hate this guy. Like why don't you like him? What's the issue? Like I don't know. I feel like he and Lamar Jackson just get like a shit ton of hate for
Yeah.
two like really good players. And especially at the end of the day, I have faith in Trevor Lawrence to get the ball with like a minute, 2 minutes left, and
Oh
take our
yeah.
offense down the field and score because he's done it multiple times now. And there are other quarterbacks, you know who I'm talking about, who who get all this crap about how they're top five, they're top five, they're top five, and they can't do that. They cannot do that. And I don't give a fuck if Herbert puts up all these stats. He can't win games. And I care more about that. He's not clutch. Sorry. I'm right.
I
Trevor
mean,
Lawrence is
yes,
clutch.
it's very hard to argue that. Yeah, Trevor
You
Lawrence
know
has
how
a
I
lot
feel
of.
about Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. I don't like either of them.
Oh yeah,
Josh
I mean,
Allen, Bills Josh Allen, not our Josh Allen, who
oh
I love.
yeah,
And like most people know, but just in case.
yeah. No, and this, I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue against that. Justin Herbert leads the NFL in fourth quarter interceptions. Um, under a certain time frame. Like, gotta have it moments. He's going to throw an interception, or he's just not going to do enough to win the game.
Yeah.
You saw he couldn't muster up
We
anything to win
saw
that
we saw it
like
in the
to stop
playoff
the
game
comeback in
last year.
Jacksonville. Yeah, like
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but the playoff game last year is all I need.
yeah,
He had 5 turnovers in that game, and Trevor came back from that.
yeah,
Okay. I believe he can do like anything.
yeah.
Like,
No,
it's
seriously.
great.
Yeah, even that Ravens comeback with those crazy throws to the end zone and the Zay Jones double move, like yeah,
Yeah.
Trevor's clutch.
Yeah, the
You
Ravens
saw the game this
game,
week. Like
Cowboys game,
the
the
game was
Saints game. He did it again. Like I know, like a lot of that was Christian Kirk after yards after the catch, but you still have to rely on Trevor to make that pass in the first place. Like
oh
there's so
yeah,
much
he's
going on there.
yeah, no, Trevor's getting the ball out quick. He's manipulating the pocket, good footwork, good patience. Like that all seems go with the jerk route was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean Trevor when the game's on the line, Trevor is probably going to go score. Or he's going to get dang close if somebody doesn't fumble.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Agnew, but
Also, Trevor does fumble a lot sometimes too, but he doesn't
he
fumble usually. He usually doesn't fumble when it matters.
that's what I was about to say. He's not fumbling on the last drive. I know the Kansas City game, he did throw that interception in the fourth quarter.
That's because
That
he was
kind
trying
of
to force it.
yeah, he was
And
trying to
now
force one.
we talked too much about this game.
Yeah, no, we did. All right, so Pittsburgh. What do you think?
Okay, I think it's going to be a really defensive game.
Yeah.
I want, I don't know, I have like mixed feelings about it because we usually play really well against the Steelers. I'm just worried about their like front defense against our
Mhm.
offensive line. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But if our offensive line can play like they did last week, I think we'll be good and we can win. I think we win no matter what. I just think we're going to win the game because it's the Steelers and we're good at beating them, especially in Pittsburgh. And I would like to go into the bye 6-2, but that's the main thing I'm worried about. I think it has the potential to just be like really, really low scoring.
Yeah, and then they put Pat Fryermuth there, star tight end on injured reserve. They drafted a huge kid out of Georgia last year, like the 6'7" Darnell Washington tight end guy. So yeah, tight ends have always killed Jacksonville, but I'm not really worried about that kid, especially he's not like a great athlete or burner or anything like that. Or a great move tight end. But yeah, Deontay Johnson's back from IR. He's already lighting it up again. He's good. Like
Yes.
he's a wide receiver too, but he is pretty good. So hopefully Tyson Campbell's good to go. Doug won't really say too many updates about him. I think they might sit Tyson and just let him come back after the bye. To be honest, give him a little bit more time to heal so he's ready for the long stretch because we got 49ers, Ravens, all the big teams coming up. So I think they rest Tyson. And then Montez Brown was decent. So you give him another try and see what you got there. So I think their passing offense may get going a little just because Kenny Pickett's been moving the ball. Well, he moved the ball better last week, but their offenses had their struggles too.
Yeah.
So I'm not terrified of it. And Najee Harris, come on. I think he's not going to do much at all.
Yeah, I'm
Like I
not worried about their offense, especially
No.
against our defense. The only thing I'm worried about is their defense against our offensive line. That's literally all I'm worried about. But if they can do what they did last week, I think Trevor's going to go off.
Yeah, I mean George Pickens now, he's a pretty good receiver. Like
Yes, he is.
if the Steelers forced the issue when they put George Pickens on my Terry Brown, I think George Pickens is just an animal when that ball's in the air. Like
Oh, for sure.
not too many guys are going to beat him at the catch point. So I don't know, but and we
You know,
saw that with Michael Thomas getting him at the catch point. Montague Brown's not a short guy, but he's not super long either. But yeah, no, I'm a little bit worried about their pass game. Their rushing offense, not at all. Not I would sleep on that for sure with our defense. But yeah, I'm not overly concerned if Cisco's back and that pass the secondary was what we started with last game. I'm not worried. And
yeah.
then defense, their defense is pretty good.
Yes.
Analytically, they're not. They're like bottom 5
Oh,
defense
yeah.
analytically.
But if you actually watch them
But
play,
if you watch them play,
yeah,
they're still the Steelers defense. They're pretty
yeah,
solid. They're well coached. Over there with Mike Tomlin.
he's
TJ
a great.
Watt, don't let him wreck the game. TJ Watt is solid,
I
man.
know.
Like
Yeah, that's yeah,
don't
exactly.
let him wreck the game. I want to see some double teams. I want to see the running back, helping out Cam Robinson or Anton chipping them because he's a monster. And then
Oh
the
yeah,
other guy on the other side, Highsmith, is another monster too. Like they paid him this offseason. He's a good
yeah.
pass rusher.
That's what I'm saying.
So they have
that's
some
that's
they have
the
some pass rushers on their D line.
yeah. It's that pass rush versus our offense. That's really the only thing that I'm really looking at.
Yeah, and then Joey Porter, all the stats and analytics about Joey Porter and how well he's playing. He's playing pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite as good as the analytics may show, but he's playing pretty solid. But Calvin Ridley, I need to see him this week.
Will
I
be nice.
think Zay Jones is gonna be coming back. Hopefully he's 100%, but if he's not, I want to see Evan Ingram get used a little bit more. Like I'm not saying press the issue, but a little less to Agnew, little more to the other guys that we know are consistent and can actually get open, run decent routes. That interception was kind of a bad route by Agnew. The way he
Well, it
kind
wasn't
of
an
broke.
interception.
Yes, that's
It
right.
was
They
an
called it
incomplete
back.
pass.
Yeah, they called it back. And I love how Jalen Ramsey was so ready to tweet that out, but whatever.
Oh, he's annoying. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
I really want to not be okay. Like he's a great player, and
Mhm.
what happened here sucked for him. And I 100% agree with that. And I'm glad that he was able to go to another team and like
Mhm.
do his thing. But why are you consistently watching our games and tweeting about it? Like, come on, just grow up, please. I mean, he's always just been kind of like, I don't know, like a child.
Yeah, he has
That's
some
kind of mean,
immaturity.
but
Yeah, he
and
has some immaturity.
yeah.
But yeah, Agnew, like his routes, he's not great coming back to the ball at the catch point. We've seen that a few times. I don't know. They keep playing him on offense. He made some good catches. He made some good catches in the Kansas City game too after the fumble. With some tough third down catches. I mean, he's fine. I just want to see less targets to him. I don't
He
think he should
shouldn't be
ever
our
be
wide
leading the
receiver
team in
one.
targets. Yeah. I don't want to see him leading the team in targets in the first half this week. That's what I don't want to see.
No.
But yeah, we haven't really seen too many long passing touchdowns yet. We haven't seen like the guys just blowing through coverages and that kind of stuff, taking the top off the defense. Trevor can sling it. The O-line is giving him time. He had time last week.
Oh yeah.
Like he was sitting there. He had some time. He got the ball out pretty fast, but he had time. So I don't know. I want to see a little bit more play action. Like teams are scared of ETN. Let's play action off of that.
Yeah.
Let's move. Let's roll the pocket, play action. Like let's do the throws that we were doing last year. Like where are the plays from last year with the double moves of Zay Jones going deep? Like all those long touchdowns that we scored, the long Kirk drags, the shallow 30-yard drags and stuff, Kirk coming back to the ball, catching on the sideline. Like, where's all that stuff? But yeah, Press Taylor, I just want some consistency, man. Like, We had a drive where it was 3 passes in a row once again. Like, bro, run the ball.
Yeah. It's
Stop
annoying.
doing these slow developing run plays where we lose 5 freaking yards. You should never be consistently losing yardage like that on run plays. It's so
No.
hard to do in the NFL. It's so hard to do. But I don't know. I digress. What are your closing thoughts overall? How you feeling about the season? If we do squeak this one out 6-2, halfway point almost at 8 games, how you feeling?
So feeling pretty good. This is like I really want them to win on Sunday, just because first off, this is an AFC team, so this is like an important game anyway. So
Yeah.
win because it's an AFC opponent, and also if we win that game, we'll have gone undefeated in October, which is crazy because last year we didn't win one game in October. Like the turnaround is crazy, and I think if we win this game, go 6-2, God, I don't know. They probably end up like winning like 12 or 13 games, I think, if not more.
Yeah, and this week is a big one before the bye because you got some really tough teams coming up after this. Some of the top teams in the NFL, AFC and NFC
Yeah,
coming up. So I think if we win this one, the 1 seed is legitimately in play. Which kind of
I
changes the
agree.
whole season if you could get the first round bye. So um yeah, I think we may have to trade for a pass rusher. Everyone's calling for Daniil Hunter. I'm all about it. He's getting ready to play again, so let's see what he does tonight.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, if I'm Trent Baalke, I'm calling someone for a pass rusher. I don't know how Trayvon feels about that. I'm not sure if you move him out of the starting lineup. Well, if it's the Daniil Hunter, he's out of the starting lineup. That's just a fact. But if you trade for a lower tier guy who can still be effective and roll smooth and Trayvon in as the second team, that's pretty good.
yeah,
Um, it's kind of disappointing for a number one overall pick to be on the second team, but sometimes it happens.
yeah,
Um, and then maybe he develops and comes back into the starting role. Maybe that'll push him. Who knows? But I'm excited. I'll be in Pittsburgh. I'll be
woo,
cheering on the Jags. Let's do
have
it.
fun.
All right. See you guys next week.